4 months ago, I opened up a terminal and typed Claude and asked it to build me an entire AI empire overnight. That single prompt evolved into 7 AI executive agents running my business, secure system that blocks its own credential leaks, and real clients paying real money. So here's everything I learned over those 4 months and the key lessons from it. Let's jump right into it. Lessons from 4 months of building with Claude Code, from first terminal command to full AI infrastructure. A little bit more about me. I'm Adrian Brzodka, and basically I'm AI infrastructure consultant and agentic engineer. And I build personal AI infrastructure since October 25. Before that, it was automations. Now I have 7 AI executives running my entire business operations 24/7. I have clients across consulting, agency, and focusing on the personal brand now. So the agenda for today. First, the problem with AI today. My origin story of how I got started with Claude Code in October 28, 2025. And then phase 1, building the army. Phase 2, the revenue and going global. Phase 3 was making it more bulletproof. And then I'll dive into some 5 key lessons. This is how most people are using AI in 2026. Everyone's using AI just to chat, almost nobody is using it to build, and that's the gap. So they have no memory, conversation disappears, and nothing compounds. You're using ChatGPT or Claude, having great conversations, and then the conversation ends. You have no system, you have random prompts, no structure, and actually no workflow, which is the most important part. You have no agents, you're just chatting with AI instead of building with it. No infrastructure, no backend, no persistence, and no automation. You don't have a foundation. You need a second brain, project structure that allows the system to build upon itself. Basically, an AI without infrastructure is just a fancy search engine. I had the exact same problem in October 2025. So, October 28th, 2025, 3 days after I just had turned 24. At 10:54 at night, I installed Claude Code in my terminal for the first time. I wrote a mega prompt, and I'm not exaggerating, asking it to build me an entire AI empire overnight. So I actually recorded this exact moment, and yeah, I'm just gonna put it up here for you guys to watch.
Yeah, I'm making this video. It's very late, as you can see, 10:07 p.m. Just got back from dinner, and I am running Claude Code on my terminal, and the possibilities are endless here. Literally endless.
It's fully unedited. Basically, that's my first time actually seeing what this can do. I had just turned 24 over the weekend, and I was sitting there at midnight going, this changes everything. And then here's another clip.
So basically, I'm going to be connecting this to my whole second brain.
Then I had the thought of having all my exec agents have their own second brain. And then I actually wrote down in my journal because I couldn't sleep that night. So I'll review my exact words. The possibilities are endless, and this is the exact feeling that loops me into Adrian 2.0. Times where I wake up half asleep and walk over to my whiteboard and just write down ideas. So I've been inspired by Daniel Meisler. He basically built a personal AI infrastructure as well with a bunch of great projects on Git. I highly recommend him. Indeed.Dan, an insane agentic engineer. His stuff is very advanced at the next level. Definitely recommend him as well. And then from there, just other YouTube videos, as I've been working with NAN the past 2.5 years before that. I wrote this micro prompt, and I'm not exaggerating, asking it to build me a full personal knowledge management empire, and AI agents, second brain, executive assistants, all run 24/7. I hit enter and went to bed. But then I just couldn't sleep. The possibilities were endless. I was hooked, constantly waking up and just journaling my random thoughts and everything that I could possibly build with it. Yeah, basically, I just decided I'm going to build my entire infrastructure with AI, so I have a foundation. So then we get into November 2025. This is basically where I was building all of the foundation. First, I created Link, basically my main AI orchestrator. Think of it like a COO of my life, but it's an AI agent running my terminal, and she manages all the other exec agents and decides who handles what, coordinates everything, and then I built my 7 AI executive agents: Maven, Ledger, Vanguard, Operator, Architect, Forge, and Prism. So instead of telling you about them, I'll just have them introduce themselves.
Welcome to Pi. I'm Link, the orchestrator. Every task, every decision, every agent on this team flows through me. Let me introduce you to the crew.
I'm Maven, Chief Marketing Officer. Content strategy, lead generation, audience growth. 38 pieces a week, 3 qualified leads a day. That's the standard.
Architect here, CTO. I build and maintain every piece of infrastructure. Servers, APIs, agent deployments, MCP frameworks. If it runs code, it runs through me.
Hey, I'm Prism Creative Director. Every video, every short, every carousel. I take raw content and make it publication ready in under 4 hours.
Vanguard, Chief Revenue Officer. I track every dollar, every pipeline metric, every conversion rate. $340K a month is the target, and I don't miss targets.
I'm Sage. Think of me as the enhancement layer. Every prompt, every workflow, every decision gets optimized before it reaches the team. Better inputs, better outputs.
Forge here, Chief Design and Research Officer. Deep research, UI design, and knowledge management. When the team needs answers, I dig deep and find them.
I'm Ledger, the CFO. Revenue tracking, deal structuring, cost optimization, profit margins. 90% margins every month. The books stay clean.
Operator, COO. On-time delivery, client satisfaction, quality assurance. If the system needs to run smoother, that's my job. 95% satisfaction or higher.
That's the team. 9 AI executives running 24/7. No breaks, no excuses, just execution. Welcome to the future of business.
So the video you just saw was actually fully done by my personal AI infrastructure in Claude Code. And it thought of the video, recorded the video, it edited the video, and yeah, it posted the video by itself as well. So it's pretty crazy what you can build nowadays. But yeah, each one has specific KPIs and their own domain of knowledge. They're not just chatbots, they're structured agents that can run 24/7 with rules. Since I was so big into personal development since a young age, I put in my whole second brain, everything from Notion, Obsidian, and my daily journals that were on pen and paper. Basically a whole Obsidian vault with maps of context and daily journals of everything. I actually had each agent had its own daily journals, so you can see that as well, so they can keep track of it as well. And then we built the 24/7 VPS, basically my own server with all the NAN automations I'd used in the past, Supabase backend, Twilio for SMS and voice, connecting it with Slack. All of this was done back in November 2025. So think of your own version of CloudBot, basically, but one that works on your vision and it's followed your own data and make sure it's very secure. So these were the actual numbers in November 2025. Over 100 commits, 300 plus files created, over 100,000 lines of code in 1 month. And around this time, the topic of AI becoming sentient was a big topic. And honestly, I thought we were coming closer and closer. But back then, it was probably still a few years ahead. Now, it's coming faster than you can possibly imagine. So this was the transformation. Before, it was just Notion pages or Obsidian pages, all scatter nodes, no structure. Pretty much everything was manually. But I had been building second brain systems for quite a while, so it's pretty good. But even with all the systems, it was still quite a mess. Before that, I was more of a solo operator, had a smaller team, and every task was pretty much done manually. I did have backend automations and more system structures, but yeah, basically $0 of AI agent employees. And after, we had a whole Obsidian second brain structured vault with AI agent integrations. And from there, the 7 AI executives each had their own KPI, their own second brain tools and sub-agents that they can spawn with the best model for the task at hand and looping back and forth until it's done, and then it goes back to the orchestrator and back to me. Basically, yeah. After that, all the paying clients, my AI employees can do the client fulfillment with me based on my past templates and do the fulfillment better with me, of course. Human in the loop, that is very important still, but the power of what your AI employees can do is pretty crazy nowadays. So now we go from code to cash. Basically, in December 2025, December 1st, I actually signed a client, a new one for a new phase 1 project. And then I had actually packed up my whole car and drove down to Sarasota, dropped my stuff off, and went to Miami for Art Basel. And then yeah, that vlog you can watch on my channel. But basically, now worked with a bunch of founders and builders, and something clicked. The first week of December, I made 22.5 thousand just for the first week of December. Here's actual proof with high profit margins is the key here. So this unlocks something. Basically, the infrastructure I built for myself became the product I sell. And after Art Basel, I went to Sarasota, purely locked in, and continued building. Like the whole prior year and a half, just building in silence. Next came about great opportunity of Africa AI. This whole week has been insane. In February, and basically all the top AI influencers and content creators came down and hosted their first public AI summit. Basically, it was insane. I'm still editing the vlog for that, so that will be crazy, but yeah, I basically packed up my bags. I think like I was gonna move countries and flew to South Africa within 48 hours of notice. Then after the event came another period of purely focused work. Everyone after it was very inspired to get back to it, and a lot of the guys stayed here and actually went full execution mode, especially after everyone was raving about Claude Code. So one evening I was watching the sunset here, working outside with my personal AI infrastructure, and I realized that the same terminal I opened 4 months ago in Chicago was now running pretty much my whole entire business in a whole different continent, while I'm able to work in the mornings and venture in the evenings as I please. But like I said, was pretty much locked in and just focusing on expanding this infrastructure and actually creating this content for you guys. So it's pretty crazy because this infrastructure can run all my client projects simultaneously and look at all my past templates and connect with the whole CRM pipelines, chatbot widgets, workflow automations, or any custom infrastructure that we are building for the client. It depends on the phase they're at and what we are actually doing for them. But Soul Infrastructure allows me to throw all my previous work that I've done and show them the actual routine of it. So everything is streamlined on onboarding and actual client delivery. And that's why I knew this foundation was real. So then I actually built a whole content pipeline, basically an automated clipping army, meeting videos like the one you saw of the agents introducing themselves and building in public more. So I'm actually able to create my own Opus clips and had it run through my personal AI infrastructure and basically my own clipping army like I just did. And then all done in the same terminal with multiple terminals open in parallel with each agent working on its own specific task, planning with all the agents, and yeah, it's the same system while I'm in a whole different continent and that the foundation was real. So this is the full tech stack. Basically, Claude Code, terminal-based AI that builds with you. You have Obsidian and your PaaS on the end, basically your second brain and self-hosted workflow automations that you can throw in there. Still use Go high level for the CRM backend, funnels, and client management. Superbase for some backend authentication, vector searching, and basically just all the backend data on top of it all. Of course, 11 Labs and Twilio for the voice AI and communication layers, and then a bunch of different softwares that I use depending on the client projects. So making them bulletproof. This is the part nobody talks about. Building fast is sexy, hardening is not. But this is what separates a side project from a real infrastructure. So I built 10 lifecycle hooks, and every time a Claude Code session opens, automatically loads today's journal, the weekly plan, and the Git status. Basically, it also blocks all the dangerous commands and trying to run any self-deleting or prompt injections because we are going to go public with this. And it also scans every tool output for credential leaks in real time. So we also did a 17-step security hardening, basically prompt injection prevention, wrapping all untrusted content in XML data tags so the AI treats the data as its own and not instructions. URL validation, so my download tools only accept whitelisted domains, credential scanning across 9 different patterns, constitutional defense layers that teach the agents to refuse suspicious requests. And basically this is what differentiates my infrastructure from CloudBot, basically that everyone's raving about. I've had like my own CloudBot since November. So This is just a foundational layer that you can always adapt. Definitely go play around with it and try it out for yourself. Then I always had the idea of giving my agents their own crypto wallets. So we added a crypto layer because I want them to eventually handle money. So we had ERC 4337 smart wallets for each AI exec, and basically permanent memory storage on Arweave and post-quantum cryptography for future proofing. It's not fully laid yet, but the architecture's here and we can launch whenever we plan on it. But yeah, building fast is step one, but making sure it's secure is what makes it the real infrastructure. So here are the real lessons, not the pretty ones, the ones I learned by hitting walls from building with Claude Code for 4 months. First is Claude Code is for building, not running, using API 24/7 and for automations. Basically, I tried to run my agents through the terminal thinking I could just leave it open. It's session-based, so I had to build a hybrid API for 24/7 production agents, Claude Code for building and testing, and for scheduled automations and the backend automations as well, and knowing what each tool is for. Lesson 2 is your AI system is your product. I pitch clients by basically opening my terminal or showing them how I actually use it day to day. Lesson 3 is do not add frameworks you do not need. Basically, you already built the batteries. I almost added TypeScript and this framework called Masha because it sounded cool. My own AI analyzed it and told me you don't need Masha as batteries included approach because you already built the batteries. So that was the definition of that. But basically, Python plus NAN was enough, and all the backend MCPs I had connected with it as well. And yeah, just don't add complexity for complexity's sake. Then we have lesson 4. Start with a foundation, not a feature. Structure before any specific tool. Basically, have a second brain, project structure, and agentic architecture. So you build all of that before you actually build any specific tool. I spent 2 weeks just on structure. Basically, the foundation you build today determines the speed of everything tomorrow. Then we have lesson 5. Security is not optional. If your agents touch data, money, or client systems, harden everything. Built 17 security layers, and after realizing one bad prompt could leak any API key, prompt injection prevention, credential scanning, and kill switches were installed. So now I'm just going to show you a different part of the actual video.
What I'm creating here, I know that some people are going to try to use this for evil, and we have to use our light to outshine them. We have to outshine them with our good and bright light, and always be connected with God. Don't always fully rely on this AI, but this is just me connecting the dots, basically creating a whole second brain of my own personal knowledge management system and inserting that brain and multiplying it omni-channel.
This is where you align with God and truly build on the assignment He gives you. And yeah, everyone should have sovereign systems. So 4 months ago, I couldn't sleep because the possibilities were endless. Now I can't sleep because there's so much to build still. But the difference is now I have the actual infrastructure to build what I want.
Honestly, today marked the first step to actually creating that momentum again with myself. I just turned 24 over the weekend, and I am ready to go all in. And this is what I'm doing.
So that clip is from day 1, and 4 months later, that's still the core belief. Everyone should have their own sovereign AI system, not rented from a platform, not dependent on someone else's API going down, but your own infrastructure that connects your personal life and your business. So start building today. So if you want to start, I made a free Claude Code starter folder. Basically, it's link in the description. It's the exact folder structure I wish I had on day 1. 5 files, just download it and open your own terminal and type Claude and start building today. Also, I'm going to have more videos on more advanced tutorials, so it's going to be more step-by-step videos of actually building in public coming next week. And then, yeah, like I said, the school community has everything, and it's community for builders. Basically, try to optimize every single area of their life and business. Comment below what you would actually want to build with 7 AI exec agents that run 24/7 for you. And then, yeah, subscribe. Basically, I'm going to have 1 video per week minimum on AI infrastructure. So let's build together. So I'll see you on the next one. Start building today and become an artist of systems, as this is actual art.